Welcome back to another video on the channel. So we have our two finalists, Ashley Barty, the world number one home favourite, will take on Danielle Collins of America in Saturday's 2022 Australian Open final. So I'm just going to look back on both semi-finals and then give my prediction on who I think will lift the title up on Saturday. So starting off with Ashley Barty defeating Madison Keys in straight sets. Do I think it was Barty's best performance in 2022? Definitely not. Did a comfortable win come about due to Madison Keys' poor performance? I think yes, but Barty was still very, very strong and is still, for me, playing the best tennis on the women's tour by a long shot. What I was impressed with Ashley Barty today, I've been worried throughout the tournament and pre-tournament, would she struggle with the nerves of being a home favourite, having a big crowd supporting her back. Also, the fact she's well number one, she's yet to win the title in Melbourne. There's a lot of outside pressure. You know, she's backed by many, the majority even, to win this title, and that always brings its own pressure. But Ashley Barty today was very measured, very focused. She didn't really react and interact and celebrate with the crowd for the break to serve. There was no signs of emotion there. And I think Barty knows that this title's not in an arrogant way, but also almost on a racket. You know, she's playing the best tennis of her life. She's the world number one. The way she's serving, the variety, the shot making, she just looks so content with every part of the game at the moment. And I think as long as she doesn't get too carried away, doesn't invest in the crowd and sort of see the winning line before she reaches it, then she's going to win the Australian Open title for the very first time. And she wants to win the title. You know, it'll have been one of her dreams as a kid, as an Australian, to win the Australian Open title. And I think she's in a perfect place. This is going to be a best chance of her career, you know, up against Danielle Collins in the final, who has played fantastically well. But Barty's passed the 6 tests. Now the biggest one of all still remains. About Barty's performance today, I mean, we saw a repertoire of every single shot, I think. At one point, I think she even threw in the forehand slice return from a serve was just astounding. She absolutely nailed the shot as well. And I think that would just absolutely crushed Madison Keys' mentality almost. I mean, you go into the match not quite expecting what Ashley Barty's going to do. We know she's got the backhand slice, the backhand's down the line, the forehand cross court, an accurate, brilliant serve. When she starts throwing forehand slices, drop shots to win points, then yeah, you might as well not be on the court. We know how consistently brilliant Barty is, and the shot selection's all almost perfect on every single point, and she's very, very difficult to attack and stop dominating. Madison Keys, I do think, underperformed. She didn't serve or return very well. I did say in my preview yesterday that if Madison Keys was to win this match, she would have to serve, you know, above 70% in the first serve. She'd have to nail the forehands consistently, hit lines, take the time away from Barty and sort of win quick fire points, play first strike tennis. I think Madison Keys tried to adopt that, but she went down early break early on. The forehand was wayward, rushed. I think she was too reliant on the forehand. She sort of got obsessed with trying to hit forehand winners, and Barty just switched up the speeds, kept Madison Keys on the run. She didn't really have any answers. She did try to battle back in the second set, but they looked the writing was on the wall for a long time in that match, and you could see Barty was just so comfortable and the best player on the court by a long shot. It was just all about Ash Barty, and this tournament's been the Barty show for me. Is from the first few rounds, and when Naomi Osaka exited, it looked like it was going to take a special performance from somebody to beat Ashley Barty, or Barty to crumble under the nerves. We've seen no signs of that. She looks absolutely rock solid, mentally and on court. The first serve is just proven to be such a big weapon, so accurate. Got a fantastic rhythm, serving lots of aces. She's backing that up with heavy ground strokes. The long baseline exchanges, she's dominating with the variety, with the switches of speed. The backhand down the line is just a brilliant shot to watch. The forehand cross court. You could talk all day about Ashley Barty. And I think I said this in my semi-final preview that if she turns up at 90% plus on the court, then there's nobody in the women's game can stop her at the moment. I think she's a level above. So I'm going to move on to talk about Iga Swiatek against Danielle Collins. And starting with Swiatek, I think I perhaps didn't pay as much attention to her 3-hour battle in the sun in the quarterfinals. I think when you watch her today, her movement was certainly off. And I think as well as Collins played, I don't think we saw anywhere near the best of Iga Swiatek. I think she'll come back bigger and better next year. She's still done very well to show great qualities to battle back from a set down a couple of times to reach the semi-finals. Still a brilliant tournament for her. A player that's still developing, obviously, at a young age. I think I said yesterday, Swiatek was to win this match, you'd have to serve very well. We know that Collins is a fantastic returner of serve. She's very aggressive off both wings. She attacks the net well. She looks to shorten the points. And Swiatek served poorly throughout the day. She was punished consistently. She couldn't gain the first strike. She was always seen to be on the defensive. On the other hand, you do have to credit Danielle Collins. Swiatek was rolling in second serves at times, but Collins was smashing them for winners time and time again, just denting the confidence of Swiatek. I thought Swiatek surprisingly looked very tentative at the start. She was playing to not miss rather than to hit winners, and that's just not good enough against a player of Danielle Collins' quality, who's in the form of her life. For me, if you're giving Danielle Collins short balls into the middle of the court, she's going to deposit them with relative ease. She played a brilliant match today, and she has done throughout this Australian Open. On Collins, as I mentioned there, she seized on Swiatek's poor serve, attacked every return, nailed the timing. She hit lines consistently throughout. She was confident. She didn't crumble at the winning line. In the first set, she had a little bit of a problem serving it out. Understandable nerves. But from that point on, I think she knew she was the better player. She knew Swiatek had a lot of energy taken out of her legs in the quarterfinal, and she just ran to the finish. She served very well. She found timely aces to secure that first set, went under pressure. Then, as I said, just went from strength to strength. She never really allowed Swiatek to settle and gain any momentum in the match, and fully deserved that straight set win. So now, talking about the final, who wins? So Ashley Barty's on a brilliant winning run, starting in Adelaide, beating Swiatek and Elena Rybakina in the final. She's cruised to this final, losing minimal games, never looked like getting beat, never even looked like dropping a set, in my opinion. There's no negatives in the game. There's nothing in Ashley Barty's game you can consistently attack and gain success from, because she's got that good a variety, the movement, the shot selection, the anticipation. She just looks so at home on court, and very, very difficult to put under any serious pressure. With Barty, as said at the very start of the video, she looks very focused. She's not succumbing to the pressure from the media, from the fans. She's serving excellently, and she's just the best player in the world. It's as simple as that. She's the best player in the world. She's number one, and she looks ready to win the Australian Open title for the first time. Danielle Collins is also on an incredible run. I don't think that should be forgotten. She shouldn't be overlooked in this final. She does look supremely confident as well. I think Barty will serve a lot better than what Swiatek did in today's semi-final, which will force Collins to defend more. She'll face obviously more variety, switches of speed. But I think, although Grand Slam finals are always capable of throwing up an upset, and you can always see the underdog, giving the favourite a hell of a fight because it's a Grand Slam final, I think Collins would need Barty to have an off day if she's to win this one. I think if Barty, does struggle under the pressure perhaps and doesn't have a good serving day, then Collins would punish her. We know she's a fantastic returner. She's playing very good. She's hitting lots of winners. She's attacking the net with real conviction. I think Collins has to try and gain authority early in rallies, with strong serving and returning, as she did against Swiatek. Is a good setup for the final. If not, I think Barty will dominate the long exchanges with the variety I've spoke about. But although you can sort of make a case for Danielle Collins, as I said, I think it does rely on Barty having an off day, and I'm going to go for Barty to win it in straight sets. I think she's just a level above, and she looks ready to win that maiden Australian Open title. So it's been another fantastic Women's Grand Slam. I probably will bring out a video on Saturday at some point reviewing the final. But I'm going to go for Ashley Barty to win her third major title and first Australian Open title. If you have enjoyed the video, please do leave a like. If you are new to the channel as well, if you could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. And also, if you have any predictions for the final, do leave them in the comment section below. I do always enjoy reading those. So thank you for watching another video, and I will see you on the next one.